Hello, today we are talking about sexual differences of couples in marriage. Full knowledge and appreciation of sexual differences of couples make marriages more fulfilling. The sexual relationship is a very pleasurable one, and it should be a great deal of enjoyment to couples. So sexual role in marriage cannot be overemphasized. It cannot be overemphasized because God created humanity as a sexual beings. Yes, that is why sexual roles cannot be overemphasized. Most marriages sometimes suffer because of little or no knowledge about how to have a good sex. And that is why most marriages suffer today. This has led, to situations where marriage bed continues to suffer. A lot of time, these couples suffer because of what? Lack of knowledge of their sexuality. So, couples must go out of their ways to satisfy each other. Couples must satisfy each other. They must go out of their way. No matter what, if your husband loves it more than you do, you must do everything to satisfy him. If your wife loves it and she loves to have it every day, you must go out of your way to satisfy her. So there are a number of factors that contribute to sexual challenges in marriages. Some could be biological. So people's sexual performance is not at the same level. So we all need to know this so that you know that there are people who love it more than the others. So because it is not at the same level, sometimes the appetite of a partner may be more than what the other partner may support. And that way, biologically, you can say that one partner is demanding more, while the other partner cannot meet up, and that could be a challenge, a very serious challenge. So I'll give you reasons why marriages suffer over sex. Number one is stress. The daily life stresses could have an impact on one's libido, which is very true. There are a lot of times that your day becomes so tedious and you have a lot of job to do. So with this, couples need to set time aside, for intimacy and then sexual experimentation. So it mustn't be that every day they have to do it. So with this, when there is stress in the everyday's life, what we do is we set a particular time for us to have the sexual expectations, and then we should be able to have these experiences at a set time, and when it gets to that time, we have to make ourselves available for it. Number two is sexual preferences. When your sexual fantasies are not synchronizing in any manner, in fact, it is not synchronizing in any manner with your partner. If it is not, it is never pleasurable. It will not be, because love making is a session. So it must be something you hunger for. It's something that you love, something you long for, something you want to do at all time. So all you need to do is explore to know your partner better. Do it now in marriage. Before, you could say because people were dating, you needed not to do this, and now you are married. It is now the right time for you to do it. It is the right time for you to explore. It is the right time for you to do everything that you need to do to understand your partner. You should know your partner better. You should know what and what you need to do to make them feel that sexuality. Know when all your partner need is oral sex. Know it. So you can give them what they need. This is the only way you can give them what they need. If your partner asks for oral sex and you don't give them because it's against your belief, that will bring a big problem in the marriage. That will bring a very big problem in the marriage. So with this, you need to know that in marriage, you need to understand your partner to know what they need, and you give it to them. Give them what they desire. Because there is no sex position or explicit that is seen in marriage. It's all about what both of you want. If what you want is oral, you should be able to get your oral. If what you want is only the foreplay, you should be able to get the foreplay. So whatsoever, any style, whatsoever, however you want it, it is between both of you. You agree on it and you do it. There's nothing like, I have never done that. There's nothing like, it's against my belief. There is no belief that will tell you how to have sex. There is no belief. There is no religion that would explain to you vividly what to do and what not to do in sex. It is not written anywhere. So what it should be, your belief now in marriage should be what works for both of you. The number 3 reason is hostile attitude. You know, being hostile to your partner, always getting annoyed, having animosity with them, bad temper, violent relations, all this do not only lead to disagreement, but it also destroys sexual pleasure, which a lot of people don't know. This destroys sexual pleasure. And the only way you can enjoy sex with your partner is when you're living in happiness, when you're living in love, when you can express your love, when you can show them how to love, you can make them happy. It's just like you want to have your partner at night and you annoy them in the morning, and maybe you go your ways, maybe go to work, and you have not been able to call, to text, to apologize, or to bring back the good feelings, into their minds. And then in the night, you want to do, go work. Go work. Nobody will want to give you that way. Because of what? You have not prepared them. When you want to have it with your partner, you have to start the preparation in the morning, so that in the evening it will be an expressway for you. But when you don't do that, you cannot get it. It doesn't work that way. So you cannot hurt them in the morning and expect that in the evening you will have your expressway. It will not work. You keep having issues. You keep having problems. So when there is any disagreement, try to settle that disagreement and try to bring them back out of that mood, so that when you need it, it will be very easy for you to get it. And when love dies, it becomes stressful to have sex, because when there is no love, you cannot enjoy sex with your partner. You can't. Another reason is poor communication. Sex is a chemistry that exhibits chains of reactions through what? Effective communication that results into actions. So communicate with your partner. Even when you have stress at work, communicate. Let them know that today your day is so stressful. If you're going to have, extra time at work, let them know. If you're going to stay back at work, let them know. If you have pressure of family pressure and all those things, let your partner know. Carry them along the stress. Carry them along everything you're going through. Because this will enable them to understand that, with all this, with this type of stress my partner is going through, it's not going to be possible we achieve sex. Because of what? But when you carry them through, they will know, and then know the right time for you people to decide when to meet. Communication is the key. Whatever it is, if you can get naked with anybody, then you should be able to discuss anything with your partner. It shouldn't be that she will not understand. I hear that a lot. Imagine an aunt of mine telling me that the husband will not understand the stress of raising children, the stress of work, and with that the man or keep asking her for sex when she's so stressed up like this, and the man is not even helping her out in some of those home chores and so on. She does everything all alone, and with that she doesn't have desire for the husband. It is because she has not communicated. And I told her, madam, you have to communicate with your husband. You need to tell your husband what you expect of him. You need him to understand what is going on with you. Let him understand that the little help he gives to you, if he can help you do one or two things, either by in the morning helping you to bath the children and then prepare them and send them to school, or when you're yet to close from work, if he has his time, he should be able to come back and go and pick the children from school. It will rather relieve you a little bit, and that will give you joy. Let him know. Communicate. Tell him everything. Because when you put him through, when you let him to understand what you're going through, there is no how he will not be supportive. If you are a man and then because of all the stress, maybe you have a lot of workload in the office, let your wife know. Let her know so that it will not bring issues. Because if she knows, she will know, okay, this is not the right time for it. The fifth reason is lack of frequency. Sex between married couples should be as often as possible. Not only when it is convenient for one partner. No. It shouldn't be so. It should be as often as possible. Even the Bible will tell you that when you can abstain when you want to go into prayer and fasting, but immediately after that you better go back and be intimate. Why do you think the Bible will urge you to come back as soon as possible to be intimate, so that you will not be tempted? You should have it often, and it shouldn't be only when one partner wants it. I remember a couple where the woman wants sex and the husband will not give her. Whenever she wants it, the man will not give. But only when the man wants it. And the man will want it once in a month. The rest time, he doesn't care. And if she wants it, he will be like, what is wrong with you? I am not in the mood. But only when he is in the mood, then that is when he wants the wife to give him. But not when the wife is in the mood. That is selfishness. It's totally selfishness. You don't do that. Only when you want it? No. It should be when both of you want it. When it is the time that the woman wants it, give it to her. So that when it's your time, you want it, it's your turn, she will give it to you. It shouldn't be when you want it, then she should give. But when she wants it, she's not a human being. She doesn't have feelings. She shouldn't have the urge. It can never be so. So when once your sex life as a couple is that way, it's going to cause problem. It will bring a lot of problem in the marriage. So married partners should joyfully make each other available for their spouses. You ought not to do that grudgingly. Some couples, especially, those raised from a sex bias background, have very funny feelings about sex. They have very funny feelings about sex. They fear that frequent, passion, and pleasurable sexual engagement with their partner may lead either of them into what? Into infidelity. For what? Who told you that? Who told you that? Meanwhile, sex increases level of intimacy in the union. Sex is a practical thing. It is. Just that whatever you decide to enjoy with your partner, the limit should be defined by both of you, no other person. The limit should be defined by both of you, no other person. The more you have it, the more satisfied you become. It is even lack of it that can cause one into infidelity. So that is it. So if you have such bias background, sexual bias background, you just have to disabuse that and know that frequency of it rather improves the relationship, the intimacy of the relationship, and make the relationship more enjoyable. It is even lack of it that can cause one partner to go out, or even make both of you to fall out or have issues that might not work in the home. Sexless marriage is not workable. I remember a question somebody asked me: is it true that marriage cannot stand without sex? I said, but how can there be marriage without sex? I said, sex is created by God for every human. That's why He made us sexual beings. God made us sexual beings. Because of what? He knows that we will need it. So, getting into marriage without sex, then it's like you're going into a very big punishment. It's better you stay, make yourself a eunuch, than to marry a woman, or as a woman you marry a man and then you deny them sex. No. I told him it is not, if it is a thing that you decide, okay, we wouldn't have sex for this period of time, both of you decide, you come together and you decide on that, it's a different thing. But when you say throughout the marriage, no sex, there is no marriage without that. That is it. You say, how do you procreate? It is through sex. How do you bond with your partner? Sex. This is the only way that each of you become as in spiritually connected, knitted together, physically and spiritually. You're knitted together. So without that, you will be separated. Even spiritually, you'll be separated. You won't be bonded without sex. If you find this video helpful, give me a like, comment below, subscribe if you haven't, share this video to your communities, because there are people out there who will need to watch this video. God bless you.